Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the pre-Thanksgiving Today's Restaurant News Networking Group. We are a group of vendors to the restaurant industry who are here to help each other and also to help restaurants who may have an issue or a question that they need to have resolved. We, as a group, have hundreds of years of experience, and we're all willing to help anybody who needs the help. So all you have to do if you want our help is call at 561-620-8888 or go on our website, trnusa.com. And I want to introduce Randy. You there, Randy? Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Randy.
Randy met Terry and they spoke, and Terry asked Randy to come today because he's got a product that he's involved with that will help several of our members. So Randy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You don't have to go into too much detail. Then we'll go into our intros and then we'll circle back to you. What I want to tell you is that at the end of the meeting, I will send everybody a spreadsheet with the contact information of everybody that's here.
Okay, great.
So you'll have all the information. So just give us a quick hello, who you are.
Okay, I'm Randy Henninger. I have a cabinet shop. I've been doing cabinetry for, 20 to 30 years, somewhere around there. And recently, I've been wanting to get into the hot dog carts. Now, I built a hot dog cart a few years ago, but with all my other cabinetry, I haven't had time to get out and sling any dogs. So whenever I talked to Terry, she had said that somebody was interested in ice cream carts, possibly, and whatever. So that's why I'm here, to hopefully work something out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
Where are you located?
In Deerfield Beach.
Oh, great. Okay. So you make cabinetry for all the restaurants, a lot of restaurants?
No. Mostly the kitchens and bathrooms, stuff like that. A lot of furniture. I've been getting into a lot of furniture lately.
So are you familiar with all the rulings of NSF and all that for?
Oh, yes.
making? Yeah. Okay.
Right. I'm also.
We can set up a meeting maybe for some time next week and talk about what we need.
Helen, why don't you tell him who you are and what you do?
Okay. Hi, Helen Gottesman. Delicious Spoonfuls is going to be an ice cream, coffee, and dessert cart focused on employing people with special needs. We're awaiting approval from the IRS to become a nonprofit. Right now, we're a sponsored nonprofit, so we could still take donations. And we are just trying to find the best deal. A lot of them are just way outpriced for us.
Well, you can get a lot of involved with carts. They are. You add a lot of things to them.
Right, but we want to have a cart for at least 6 tubs. We want to be able to put some coffee on it, little space and a little storage for additional tubs as the day wears on. And that's basically it. We have somebody who can do the wrap on it, so we just need to know that it's going to be certified and all that, and reasonable time frame.
Well, let me ask you, you're going to be putting it, driving it where you're going, or are you
Yes.
just going to wheel
It's going to go in a U-Haul type truck to different locations. So we're going to need large wheels on it so that we can push it in and out of the truck.
All right, if you guys can get together and talk about it, and you can talk about the specifics.
That would be
Sure,
great.
that's great.
Randy, I'd love to talk to you. Where are you? Where do you
said
live? Where are you
Deerfield.
located?
You said Deerfield.
Oh, you're in Deerfield.
Yeah,
So
I
we
live
can
in-
talk next. We can talk next week and meet.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right, I
Thank
want
you.
to call on John McCabe because he's in the ice cream world also. You can tell us who you are, what you do, John, and how we can contact you.
Good morning. I'm John McCabe. I'm with Carpigiani. We're part of the Ollie Group. I can be reached at 401-368-6406. My email is johnm@carpigiani-usa.com. Or Randy, I look forward to meeting with you when I get down to Florida. A couple of things. We do sell carts that come out of ISA from Italy, but we're always looking for different models and everything, and I'd love to talk to you about it. We sell a lot of ice cream manufacturing equipment for gelato, ice cream, sorbets, water ice, and we also sell pastry equipment. We're in with a lot of major chains, but certainly the carts is a very big business, whether they go into a hotel for weddings or for out by the pools. And we're having more and more people are starting to do carts around places like Bickell or Wynwood, which are very popular spots in Florida. So I'd love to talk to you more about it, and perhaps we can get you some business around the United States.
Sounds like a plan.
So,
I'll be waiting to hear from you.
okay, thank you.
You
Thank
see
you.
that, Randy? That's what we do here. We put people together and try to get business for each other.
That's nice. That's
That's the name of the game.
Sounds like you got a lot already. That's great. Happy to hear it.
I'm also looking for some cabinets for my bathroom and kitchen when I'm remodeling a condo. So I'll talk to you about that too.
He can do it. He can do it.
And the people who are pushing the carts or selling the carts, besides Helen and Rob, they're all going to need uniforms. So let's go to Terry L., our newest member. Are you able to?
Hi, good morning. I'm
Good
Terry.
morning.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Hey, good thing for phones, right? I'm Terry Lena. I work for Workwear Outfitters. I've been with the company for over 15 years. We manufacture workwear under the Dickies brand, Red Cap brand. We do everything from an apron all the way to jackets, and now we even have Kodiak and Terra footwear. My number is 720-244-4972. I do business development, and I'm happy to work on a uniform program no matter what the size.
Okay, thank you. I sent you an email, I think yesterday. I hope you got it.
Yes, I did. Thank
Okay.
you for I need it for my expense report.
Okay. Let's go to Darren. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Darren Gall, Tracy.net. That's TRACI.net. We are a communications consulting and solution provider. What we do is we take the aches and pains out of communication and internet services. If you haven't looked at a phone bill or an internet bill in the last 2 years, chances are you're paying too much. We've got some very creative solutions. We work with all the carriers as well as having our own state-of-the-art platform. So we look to save you time and money with your communication needs. You can reach us at 800-881-8899 on our website, traci.net, or via email at sales@traci.net.
Thank you. Now the dynamic duo, John Mulholland and Kevin Anderson.
Morning.
Good morning, folks. Kevin, you know what you're doing by now?
I think I'm okay. I'll do the presentation. You can add what you like. How's that, John?
Hey, I did color and basketball games when I was in college. I can do it here too.
There you go. My name is Kevin Anderson. 407-497-9495. I'm a partner in Strategic Supply Chain Partners. We are a full-service hospitality consulting company. Collectively, we have over 125 years of experience with iconic brands like TGI Fridays, P.F. Chang's, Yum Brands, Al Copeland Restaurants, and many, many others. And we basically function as an outsourced purchasing department for small to medium-sized restaurant groups. We analyze, negotiate, and manage distribution agreements on behalf of our clients. We find that there's an enormous amount of opportunity inside of distribution agreements with the big broadliners. Currently, the last two that we've worked on this last 45 days, a group in Houston, 13 locations. We're projecting them to save $750,000 year one and 1.2 million by the end of year two. We have a group in Central Florida, a nonprofit organization, has a pretty big food service platform. Moving them from one distributor to another was a 29.4% improvement from what they were paying before, which was absolutely unbelievable and in a way shameful being a church, what the distributor was doing. And so we really are averaging between 8 and 12% savings for our clients on their distribution expenses. Being a full service company, we really analyze the profit and loss statement, and we help all of our clients with any additional services that they need. For example, energy management. We're looking at finding products that they can't get through distribution or through supply chain. We have import-export companies that we work with and so on. And lastly, the greatest thing about what we do is we're a 100% contingency company. We don't charge our clients any money up front. There is no retainer fees or hourly rates or any of that. We base everything off of the save. We save money, we take a portion of the savings as our fee. If there's no savings, we did all that work and we don't receive any income. So it's really a zero upfront cost, and since we're self-funding, a zero risk opportunity for all of our clients. John, you want to add anything?
Man, you about covered it all. The only question I have for you, Kevin, with the supply problems we're having in the food industry, do you think we could help people out better?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, we have a lot of relationships directly with manufacturers. And because we are working with all the broad line distribution companies and a lot of additional vendors, secondary vendor partners, if one particular company doesn't have an item, we can certainly source it through someone else, or at least give directionally some insight into where to go look for a client that's having issues with supply chain. As we all know, supply chain is a challenge. It will continue to be a challenge throughout 2023. There are some indicators that there'll be less pressure on some commodity items, but for the most part, we're expecting to see another year of difficult supply chain issues.
Okay, so you work basically for free. You have people save money on their food costs buying the same exact food, and you can help them with their supply chain.
That is correct.
Why wouldn't anybody use this?
That's a very good question.
Well, Chapman, can I ask? Oh,
You want to do the video interviews?
Who are you asking?
You and I did it. Now you can take over.
Oh, yeah, I could always do, I'm always up for an interview.
You did a good job, John. Yeah, it kind of defies logic sometimes.
Kevin, can I ask you one question?
Sure, of course.
Can you ship one product from one location to the next? For instance, if let's say there was a product in Pennsylvania, can it be shipped like one product to Florida?
Yeah, we could work on that. Sure. I mean, we do that. We do a lot of work sourcing items for our clients. Sometimes there are new items they're bringing into their company, and we have to go out and source that item directly from the manufacturer or a distributor that might be geographically not in the same marketplace. Many times it's within the distribution broadline network, so it could be a different company that has that item but is not being used by the client, or someone like yourself. You might just not use that organization to get product into your company, but we would be able to source it elsewhere. And then sometimes we work through GPOs, group purchasing organizations, to help source some products, depending upon what their access points may be. Very specialized industry, GPOs. So we try to stay away from them a little bit, but if we need to source some items that are hard to find, they generally will be able to at least steer us in the right direction.
I got to talk to you.
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Let's go to Robert Smith. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning, everybody. By now, you probably know I solve labor shortages for small to mid-size quick service restaurants by replacing cashiers with self-ordering kiosks. Self-ordering kiosks have 4 major benefits to a QSR. Number 1, people buy more visually. So rather than order something off of a menu, if they see it on a kiosk, it sells quicker and more often. It increases the average ticket because there's automatic built-in upsells, which is hard for many QSRs to teach their cashiers to upsell. It increases order accuracy because there's no chance for a lost in translation when a cashier enters the order. And it legitimizes small business by deploying big business technology. I'm proud to say that Samsung kiosks, paired with the Grubber software that we offer, is quickly becoming the industry leader in the restaurant kiosk arena. And if you know anybody who has a QSR, then you know a QSR that would benefit from self-ordering kiosks. I can be reached at 561-609-6405 and rsmith@touchsuite.com. And also one last thing, a shout out to Kevin Anderson. I appreciate that he is the first one in the group to reach out to me to create a relationship, a referral relationship, and that will be happening. I appreciate that.
Welcome. Glad to do it.
Good, thank you.
Very nice.
That's a great point. You really, the members of this group should at least call other members of the group just to say hello, like the face that just came into Debbie's, just so that you know, get to know everybody, you know, on a one-on-one basis. Like, thank you, Robert. Glenn, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? My name is Glenn Geringer. I work for a company. I'm the Senior Director of Sales and Marketing for Worksite. We are what's called a PEO, Professional Employer Organization. We specialize in restaurants. That's why we're going to be part of this group. We help restaurants with everything from the workers' comp. We assume the liability. We give them great rates off of that because we have a master program. We can offer benefits for them. We have a low-cost plan that only needs 2 people to sign up for these restaurants, so it's perfect for restaurants. And we handle all of their taxes needs, like the WOTC credits, the work opportunity tax credits. We'll check all that for them and give them credit if they hire new employees that are either coming off a SNAP program, a veteran, long-term unemployment. We find those for them when they hire new people, and we automatically process the claims and give it back to them. So we do that. Plus we will watch and do for them their FICA tip credit. Any amount that's over their minimum wage and tips, we will give them back a credit that the government will provide credit for them, but we will process it for them. So we provide tons of solutions for restaurants. If you know any restaurants that are interested in it, please give me a call. You know, I need to work a little closer with Randy, so I'm probably going to give him a call after this and talk to him about us working together, because he does payroll and I do the PEO portion. So,
you know, Glenn, another thing is too, you know, we're in the field of disabilities, and there's a lot of state agencies like Boca Rehab, for instance, which will pay, you know, restaurants a certain amount of money, which they can deduct off their taxes, you know, every year, and they'll train also the workers, and they'll pay the restaurants a certain, you know, stipend of money, so that for training and coaching and a whole bunch of other types of approaches as well.
That's great.
I want to look into that.
Yeah, no, you know what, for the restaurants that we do business with, they probably appreciate it. And then if they're hiring from those people, then we could give them that tax money. So we can.
The reason why I'm saying this, one of the restaurants, it's called Biddy and Bo, started in Charleston. There's about 18 restaurants. They just opened up a brand new restaurant in Jacksonville.
Really?
And, you know, they're not just hiring people with disabilities, but they're also including people as well. So it's a tremendous source to hit the state agencies like Boca Rehab. I can tell you more about them.
I would love to have a conversation. I guess we should do it separately. So
Okay.
I'll get your number off the end of the meeting, and we'll definitely have a call. Probably I'll call you Monday because I got a crazy day.
Right.
Okay. Peter, good morning.
Good morning. Peter Robinson, Hudson Robinson Business Brokerage. I work throughout the state of Florida. I've been a business broker for approximately 20 years, and I have expertise in restaurants as well as other types of businesses. I work as a business intermediary in the sense that I bring people back to the table, and that's one of the things I do best. I just keep bringing people back so that they can have a conversation with. Why Mr. Appel is smiling, I have no idea. So, notwithstanding that, I also there's about 500 restaurants for sale in Florida that range anywhere between under 100,000 to $8 million. There's franchise opportunities. Florida is a great state to buy a restaurant in right now. Unbelievable opportunity. Please call me at 561-445-8198. My website, you can take a look at the businesses for sale. It's called hudsonrobinson.com. Thank you.
Great.
Peter, I have a question for you. There's a lot of restaurants on the market, and as soon as they go on the market, what is the average number of days it takes to sell them? Did you hear me, Peter?
Yeah, I did. And the average number to sell any business is actually 8.7 months. That's the average to sell any business as a rule. But again, it's subject to several different things. It's always subject to price and terms. The price and the terms is what dictates how fast the business will sell. So it can range anywhere between, let's say, 4 months to a year and a half, depending upon if a restaurant is, let's say, selling for over $5 million.
Okay, thanks.
In today's economy, Peter, do you find that the restaurants that are up for sale are looking to go a lot quicker than 8.7 months? I mean, the owners are probably more desperate to sell.
So that's an interesting thing. I will tell you that at the moment, what complicates the transaction are the landlords. So yes, the sellers, yes, the sellers want to sell it quickly, but unless a restaurateur is willing to put the price of the restaurant below the market, it does take time. I wish I could say it differently, and it's in a very involved procedure, because there's about 4 or 5 people involved in the transaction. So the answer to your question is no, it doesn't sell as quickly as most people would like.
Yeah, that's always going to be a point of contention. You know, what comes first, selling it or having to close? Anyway, we'll talk about it. Debbie Danto, good morning.
Good morning. Debbie Danto, Danto Builders. We've been in the South Florida area. Actually, Craig has been in the South Florida area building for over 40 years, and I've been in with 20, and am extremely active in the business, and actually have a general contractor's license myself, as well as lead AP. We focus a lot on hospitality, especially restaurants, also hotel lobbies and rooms. We don't build ground up multiple floors unless we have a partner, a bigger partner. Also healthcare, which is very similar to hospitality these days, with the food component and the more comfortable private rooms, industrial, and also quite a bit of government work. We're also very involved in the community, and I'm proud to announce that I was just approved for the chair-elect designate for the Greater Fort Lauderdale Chamber of Commerce. So I will be the chair in 2025. And then I'm also very involved with the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, the Broward County chapter, and I am a co-chair with Pia from MyCai on the events. We're going to do the reverse trade show again, and I believe we're probably going to do like an awards event where we will honor, I want to honor all areas of restaurant and lodging. So that means to me, at least, yes, the GMs and the cooks, the chefs and so on, but also the vendors. And I think there needs to be vendor categories. So I'm definitely going to advocate for that. Other than that, we're keeping busy from the Homestead area to Delray, and enjoy this group. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, one
Debbie,
more
did
thing,
you,
though,
did you do
actually.
that? Did you do that marathon in the London?
Yeah, I did.
What was your time?
3 hours, 25 minutes and 25 seconds.
Wow, that's amazing.
So that breaks down
Congratulations.
7 minute and 50-second miles, which that was my goal. So I'm very happy with that.
How many miles, Deb? 26?
26.2.
Hey,
Oh my gosh.
Well, Lori's run a lot more than me. My next one's Chicago. I'm hoping to get into New York for next year. And then I'll only have Tokyo and Berlin left for the major 6 marathons.
Holy.
I had to get off early last week, and I did put a little message, but I want to thank John Marinick again, because he brought us into Massa. We just completed Massa. I believe he started having his soft openings this past Thursday. The food is amazing. It's a fast casual concept. It's on US 1. Most people know where it is because it's in the shopping center where Trader Joe's in Nordstrom Rack is. And it's just a great, very fresh concept. He's very passionate about the food and making you feel satisfied, but not feeling just like stuffed when you leave. So fresh grilled chicken and lamb and beef and so on. And the presentation is great with an open grill. So that's, we're really happy with that. And then also Peter was so kind to bring me in on a conversation with a new franchise concept that seems to be growing and is on a fast track. So thank you again.
Great. I'd love to hear when people in the group interact with each other and help each other.
Absolutely.
Let's go to our other running lady. Laura.
I completed the 7 Bridges Marathon, 4 Bridges half marathon. I completed that last month, but I wanted to give Debbie, I'm looking for her on Athlinks. I don't know if you've ever heard of that site. So I'm looking at some of your results, but you go and claim your results and then we could be friends. And like, you can see all my statistics. So when you have time, go to athlinks.com. It's free. Okay. Anybody else that does a lot of races, but I've been racing races for like 20 years. I'm looking at my statistics, 164 races I have logged.
Oh my gosh.
21 marathons, many half marathons and 5Ks.
The Abbott World Masters, Marathon Masters. That's what I'm on. But I'll look at athletes for sure.
Yeah, athlinks. But I was also in the 50 state club. So I've done 19 states, marathons in 19 states, but I don't know. Things had to slow down when I had to go back to work 12 years ago. So, but yeah, so I'm with ARF Financial. I do loans and lines of credit for restaurants. And I just wanted to share one. I had a good call with the restaurant owner this morning, so it might give you ideas when you're talking to the clients. But he owns 1 location. He's opening up a 2nd location. So in those scenarios, I can help them get the money. I can't do pure startup until but I can help them once they're open 30 days. And we're about the only lender that can get people money, when they only have 30 days in business. Banks usually require a couple of years, things like that. So if any of your clients need working capital, money for equipment, short-term bridge loan while they're waiting for their SBA, I can help them. Or TI, getting TI back from their landlord. With our revolving line of credit, they can take money. As soon as they get that TI, tenant improvement money back from their landlord, they can pay me off. So we do a lot of that type of thing.
How do we reach you?
What are the requirements, the basic requirements of that? Like, what do you look at?
So restaurants, we just need at least this, and you're not going to get the very best rates if your credit is, 550, but a minimum is 550, 30 days in business, and to be averaging 200,000 in sales a year. So very, pretty flexible requirements to get in. But
you have to show 1 month of sales that's going to average out to 200,000 for the year?
Right, they probably at least 20,000 right out of the gate. That's not going to get you very much though. Where I really shine is the loans of like 250,000 plus. So those type are my ideal client is probably over 650 credit over 3 years time in business and over $1 million in sales. That's going to be the other one. I mean, it's going to be for a small little working capital. Maybe you can get 20,000 and that would definitely help them probably. But so I work with a lot of great multi-unit operators. I'm here in Atlanta. I've been selling to restaurants for over 20 years here. I was with Rewards Network before I was with ARF Financial. So if anybody wants to, break into the Atlanta market, just give me a call.
Great, thank you.
Yes.
Mark Wagner, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Mark Wagner here with Pachyderm and Wise Building Ecosystems. We help normally larger clients in the restaurant industry with more than 5 to 10 locations on energy reduction programs. We have a hot swap program where you take a existing motor and an air conditioning unit that's on the rooftop and put in a new one, and all of a sudden it saves 64% on the energy. And we have financing programs for those so that they don't have any out of pocket. In some states, if you have clients in Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, or Illinois, they will pay 60% to 80% of project costs. So we can basically get them in there very inexpensively for the team and just return a ton of money to their bottom line. It also makes the overall system last longer. And then we also do trash management, and we can put those all in. Right now, the 2 hot button items for most national chains: how do I reduce my energy? How do I reduce my waste? So we're doing both and can do them successfully as we've done for the last 29 years. So thanks anybody for referrals, and you all have a nice Thanksgiving weekend. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Did you give us a number to reach you?
Phone number is that what you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Sorry, 321-431-4479. And that's in the blast off zone. So just remember 321 is countdown. I live in Brevard County, the Space Coast, for that reason. 3, 2, 1, blast off.
That's great.
They actually bought it from Chicago. They had 312 and they flipped it, sold it about 20.
It's like New York, they have 516, and here we have 561.
Mark, do you have all the details of the Inflation Reduction Act?
I'm learning more and more on it. I'd like to talk to you about the Section 179D programs because that's coming up in conversations because of the $5 per square foot. We could
but
lump in a lot.
The basic requirements there. It's interesting. So we have a division called MEP, and MEP has done the certifications for the energy tax incentives. The benefits are actually a deduction. And what happens is that we have to model the improvements, which are either lighting, HVAC, and or building envelope. And we model it versus an industry standard. And they just changed it up. It went from $1.80 all the way down to $1, and no partial deductions, mean you can't only get it for HVAC, you can't only get it for lighting. It has to be, it's basically modeled based on the whole building. So the amount went down, unless, to what Mark was referring to, the $5, you have prevailing wage and you prove it and you can be audited, and apprenticeship. And that percentage is, I think it goes from like 10 to 15% over the next several years. So there's a lot of requirements, and there's going to be more answers coming out. So I'm happy to speak with you about it as soon as I get the information myself.
Absolutely.
Debbie, I'd like to ask you something in general, universally speaking. The difficult thing, especially with dealing with so many requirements, is trying to actually talk the same language of communication with the right kind of variables. And if you have to switch from one connection to the next, whether it be restaurant or building, whatever it is, this is a silly question, but have you been able to master that? Can you conform? Can you change your thinking of communication so that you get, the proper direction of communication between, the two people you're working with?
Are you saying you didn't understand what I was talking about?
No.
Well, I try. I mean, I will always welcome questions, and if I need to break it down, or if I'm not talking in layman's terms, I can break it down. I can switch gears. I look at myself more as a lay person than anything. I'm not an engineer by any means, but I've learned a lot over the last 20 years. That's for sure. Did that kind of answer your question?
Because every business has their own style and communication and rules that you have to follow, and yet, in one industry to another, it's somehow very hard to communicate if you don't understand what those rules are.
People in the restaurant business, in one form or another, have to speak many different languages, as you're saying. We have to know construction, we have to know food, we have to know pricing, we have accounting, real estate, lease negotiations. We have all different types of languages that we all have to speak, and the successful people do it. And now I'm going to move on. And here's the guy that knows a lot of them, John Marinek. He has to know them because he's designing the restaurants that are coming up. Right, John?
Yeah, John Marinek Food Service Consultants. And as you can see, simple and easy. I try to make things simple and easy. So I use one language that everybody can understand, and it's just straightforward. Debbie, you guys did a great job at Mazda. It turned out really well. I saw a lot of the photos coming out, and everybody seems to be really happy. Everybody gets on edge until all of a sudden it opens, and then once it opens and all of a sudden they see the final product. Boy, I'll tell you, there was a lot of tile work on that, and there was a lot of input coming back on the look. So if anybody gets a chance to go out there, take a look at Debbie's work and Craig's work, and it turned out really, really well. And I think you'll be happy with the food, you'll be happy with the presentation, and you'll get a chance to see a little bit of what I do. Please don't look at the counter. There was something that went on at the counter. The counter I had nothing to do with. I'll make that very clear. The owner had everything to do with that, okay? And the architect. They put hand sinks on top of the counter, and they put see Howard's face. That's the face I had for about 3 days. My face was stuck like that. But anyway, it usually goes under the counter, and but anyway, it did open, and the next one we're going to fix that on. We're going to use professional counter people, and and all restaurants have things that pop up. But anyway, when you're faced with all kinds of things, you deal with them, and Debbie did a great job with it. With
So
all
did
these
you.
things.
I was so happy you were involved. You saved the project and us.
We have a church coming up, and we have the barbecue place is moving along, and we have to get
Crystal Republic.
Yeah, and then I have to speak with you a little bit more about that. It's that nursing home down in, yeah, we have to speak about a nursing home. I have to get put in it, I think. I'm forgetting things. Anyway, so anyway, John Marinek Food Service Consultants, and we design restaurants, and anything that you need designed for the restaurants, you need anything consulted on, you can reach us at 954-817-1183, and we'll be glad to design any of your facilities for you. Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is a world record for you. You spoke the longest today than you ever have in 2 years. All right. John Bunn, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Bunn. I'm with the BH Bunn Company. Thank you, Howard and Terry at the Florida Restaurant Show. And they also helped me make contact with someone that I got into the pizza show in Orlando and made some good contacts there. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
We manufacture the bun tying machine. We've been around 115 years now. An interesting fact that I learned when I was at the pizza show, things have kind of changed a little bit. In the last 2 years, studies were out, 1 in 4 delivery drivers admit to eating the food they deliver. At the pizza show, I just learned it's now 8 in 10.
Oh,
And it's pretty disgusting. Well, our machine can do a knot, as you can see on my screenshot here. It's the bun knot. It is a slip-proof slip knot. Also with the problems with plastic bags and carrying things, you can do pizza boxes, you can do all sorts of clamshells, what have you. So that's what we do. We manufacture the machine. We're located in Lakeland, Florida. We've been here since 1984, originally from Chicago. Our phone number is 1-800-222-BUNN, B-U-N-N. Our website is BUNNTYCO, that's BUNNTYCO.com. And give us a shout and we can help you with security of your food.
Great, thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
With the kosher items that come from, say, the pizza shop we went to last night, they tape it up on the sides with a sign that says ORB certified, so that nobody can open it and throw in non-kosher products until it gets to its destination. Would that work? I mean, that people wouldn't sample your food while it's being delivered?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of different things out there that can secure it, but now tape is plastic again. And the world's trying to get away from plastic. We just shipped a machine down in New Zealand to tie vegetables, kale, cilantro, parsley, asparagus, because in Australia and New Zealand by 2025, their goal is 0 single-use plastic. No knives, no forks, no spoons. They're even trying to get rid of earbuds. So everything single-use that they're trying to get rid of, what are you going to replace it with? Twine's an environment-friendly material. One of the phrases we like to use is bun was green when green was just a color, because we've always used cotton twines in different types and different blends.
John, there were a couple of people at the restaurant show that were not using like recycled stuff, but were manufacturing plate and silverware and containers by sugarcane. There was one young lady doing that. There was also somebody, it wasn't really recycled stuff. I don't know if it was or not, but I have some of their brochures here. And like you were saying, they're using a lot of, getting away from plastic, getting away from the, the spoons, the ice cream spoons. There were things there that were actually edible. We actually got some samples. I think there's some Helen and I are, obtaining right now. So I think there's definitely a move away from that, what you're talking about.
Yes. At the pizza show, everybody was really enthralled with being able to get away from the plastic and the silverware, or not silverware, but the plasticware and all that. Everybody was all on board with it. So it's growing. Even something as simple as in your the restaurants and the supermarkets. There was an article in Food Navigator magazine, I want to say back in 2019, early 20, that bioplastic is just as toxic as regular plastic. And this is what they wrap our raw foods with. And
all right, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to see if we can finish this by 12. Rob, you can call John. I'm sure I'd be happy to talk to you.
Sure.
I want to just double back to our guest, Randy. So you see what we've done, what we do. Anything you want to add to what you said before, and give us your how we can reach you.
Well, not really add anything. It's an interesting group you have here. I'm really interested in it. So hopefully we can, I can get more involved with it. My phone number in Deerfield is 954-551-9681. And my email is henninger@bellsouth.net.
If you wouldn't mind, put your
So
put your
hopefully-
contact information in the chat so that I can send it out to everybody.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, appreciate it.
I think Terry has it.
Well, she didn't have the name of the company, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay. Terry, where are you? She left. Anyway, what Terry does in the company, as you all know, she does the restaurant leads report. Every month, she sends out a email, a spreadsheet with restaurants that are under construction and restaurants that have just opened. And if you want to receive that, you can give her a call at 561-620-8888, or you can go on our website and order a free sample. And I want to thank everybody for coming today. We had a nice turnout. I appreciate that. And Randy, thanks for coming. Welcome again after Thanksgiving. We won't meet next week. So everybody enjoy yourselves. Have a great Thanksgiving. And Kevin, I'm going to keep this window open for people who want to continue the conversation. So again, thanks very much, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.